The following episode might contain content that you might not be comfortable listening to. This might range from swearing to references to self-harm and substance abuse. Please proceed with caution and don't hesitate to reach out for help if you need it. What's something that you've been missing lately? It could be it could be a topic, it could be a person, it could be anything. Hello, my name is Hazy. Who killed Hazy? And welcome back to yet another episode of the Only Rainy Days podcast. And to answer my own question, because I don't know why I've been in the mood of answering my own questions as, I guess, kind of a start. I guess I've been taking the question, I've been taking a different approach to the question. Because I used to kind of just throw it out there and just go into something else. But now, the questions that have been coming to mind is, I guess, more aligned with things I want to talk about, or things I'm going to talk about, things that have been on my mind lately. Because as odd as it might seem to be an answer, I've been missing myself in a way lately. Like, I don't know the best way to explain it, because I've been in a funk for the last it's the 26th of March, so I've been in a funk for I don't even know. I honestly don't know the last time I felt like semi competent. I guess it's been technically a year or so, because I'm tempted to say that the last time I felt semi-competent was about 2 years ago, like somewhere when I was in my last relationship. But I don't want to say that half, because I'm not that codependent. It sounds wrong, and I believe it is semi-wrong, because there's been points, there's been on and off periods where like I was kind of getting it and things were going pretty well for me, and then there's been periods where it kind of wasn't. So I guess it's been about a year since the last time I say there's been a moment where I've been like fine, confident in myself, working on the things I want to work on, inspired to work on the things I want to work on, and comfortable with like my, I guess, work, social, and personal life like balance. I guess it's been a year since I've kind of felt that, because I've been all over the place, and it's my fault. I'm not about to sit here and lie. I know that for a fact. There's nobody to blame, and I'm not really looking for anyone to blame with that type of thought either. It's my own doing. I've been putting myself in like not weird situations per se, but I haven't allowed myself a moment to really like truly breathe as myself, by myself, in like the last 2 years or so. So trying to look back on things, I'm gonna have a pretty like foggy-eyed vision of the past. Like, that's just a situation, like from out of a relationship to just constantly, or I don't want to say the words messing around necessarily, but out of a relationship to just always having someone nearby, always bouncing between different projects, different ideas, different ideals for the future. I feel like I've changed a lot in the last year or 2 years, just kind of based on the idea that time is fucking flying, and the fact that due to my experiences, I'm starting to better understand what I really want in life, which is really weird to say, because I don't really know what I want in life. That's been a reoccurring theme in general, and kind of why I've been missing my quote unquote old self in a way, because I don't know what I'm doing in a way, or in a sense, in a way whatever is the best way to put it, because I don't know. Uh, I've been thinking about it a lot, because between being sick for like 10 to 14 days like last week, to kind of just recovering from the sickness, because uh, that sickness fucked me up. Everything went AWOL in a lot of different ways. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, body aches, body fatigue, couldn't work out because I'm sick, headaches, migraines. I lost my taste, I lost my smell. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, on top of it, I don't know if I talked about it last episode, but I also fucked up really bad, because there was a day where I had a migraine that was like really fucking me up. Like I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't even really sit up properly. So that day I want to make this very clear. I fucked up. I fucked up, and I took like way too many painkillers that day to try to deal with the migraine. And as a result, as like a TLDR, because I mean, not really a TLDR, just it doesn't, I can sum it up really easily. I ended up burning myself really bad. Yeah, pretty badly, in like 4 to 5 different areas in my on my legs, both of my legs, because of the painkillers. I was like in cold chills, and I was constantly cold. So I was focused on trying to get myself to sweat. That way I would finally feel warm. And I didn't realize that 3 to 4 hours passed with my heater on high to max, and I never moved because I had no concept of time. And I had a giant, like maybe, I don't know if I take an estimate, 2 to 3 inch like burn blister on my right leg, and a couple more burns like on my knees, and just kind of spread out throughout my legs. I fucked myself up, and they healed now. They're finally healed, to about 3 weeks later. So praise be to that. But that sickness really fucked me up, because on top of being sick, being under the weather, not being able to do anything, I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. And because I couldn't eat, I decided to limit my nicotine intake and my alcohol intake as well. And especially with the alcohol intake, I think I caused some sort of mental shift in my head, because I gotta give like a good rundown here. I gotta back up a second. We gotta get some lore in here, because the beginning of 2024, I wanted to hit this year running. I dealt with a good amount of mental issues and mental stress throughout the entirety of 2023, and it hit its breaking point around the end of it, around September, October, November were some pretty bad months. The same for December and January of this year and February of this year, and even this month, March of this year. But November was like a really bad breaking point for myself. So I cut myself off from some things that I was doing at the time, and I allowed myself to breathe for a month, or trying to find my footing. And I told myself that I'd jump into 2024 with like, eyes fully ahead, no more deer in headlights. Like I wanted to just get shit done. And for the first month or two, January was kind of off, but February was like a really good month. Or mid-January to mid-February, I had a really good month of just like working on shit and working on new passions and working on things to be passionate about. And then something happened, and I like really fell off of it. And I spent the rest of February really trying to like find that spark again in myself, trying to really understand like what went wrong. Ooh, that elementary school list is really coming back out. I tried to figure out what went wrong, and I was trying to, correct it. I was trying to do better. I want this year to be a really good year, because 2023 was a decent year despite all the issues, but I wanted this year to be even better because I was focused, or at least I knew what I kind of knew what I wanted to go into, and that's better than a lot of my recent life. Like I felt like I had an idea. I felt like I finally had goals, and I really wanted to just, crack them. And then I lost my footing. And then with the sickness and the not really potential alcohol withdrawal and things like that, these last 2-3 weeks, I feel like March hasn't really happened in my head. March hasn't happened. Because I lost my passion. I lost my fire. I lost my drive. I lost everything I needed to be the person I want to be going into the month, basically, somehow. And then I got sick, and sick enough, a level of sickness I'm not used to. I'm used to just, dealing with it and just continuing. But I hit a level of sickness and a level of just like, it feels like brain rewiring to where I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, this month hasn't happened. I've been either sleeping too much or not sleeping. If every day feels like something is hurting by some means, it's hard to work out. My mind feels lazy. My body is either aching, if not completely numb. I've been having to take naps after work because the energy just isn't there. My dopamine receptors feel completely fucked up. I check like my screen time on my phone. I'm averaging 20 to 30 hours of Instagram a week, and that's just Instagram for passing the time. Like, I sit here sometimes, I'll like trying to work on something, like just writing something up, trying to give myself ideas for the future or something to work on in the future. And to just sit here and write at times, I have to open like a game or have like a video or like music playing, sometimes a mixture of those things, just so I feel like I have the appropriate amount of like APM, actions per minute, just to complete this rather simple task. Like, everything feels really fucking off. Everything feels really fucking off, and there's not a better way to put it. And it's been exacerbated in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I don't want to say that I feel like I'm at a loss, because I think way too much. In fact, the problem is I think too much. It's hard to work on things because I will sit here and just think, and I'll sit here and I have just dream and daydream. I'll dream about the things I want for my own future. I will dream about, things that are going on, things that will potentially go on. I'm sitting here preparing myself for situations that may or may not happen, situations that have happened and I'm afraid that will happen again, situations that have never happened and probably never will. My brain, I can't focus. I can't focus at all. But the good thing about not being able to focus due to a disgusting amount of overthinking is, at some point through the overthinking, it kind of bounces back to trying to figure out like, well, how can I get this shit to stop? Because it's intrusive. It's very fucking intrusive. I can't do my paid work easily. I can't do the work I want to do or I feel like I should be doing. I can't work out, or it's harder to work out. It's harder to sleep. It's harder to sit here. It's harder to socialize with friends. It eats me alive. But through all the thinking, I'm trying to figure out occasionally, whenever my brain permits it, I sit here and I try to figure out, okay, how the fuck do I stop this shit? How do I make the changes that I want to see? Because I know that it's gonna take work, and it is possible. I am a stern believer in the idea that you can rewire your brain at almost any given point. Or at the very least, you can do a lot to help that type of process. Because I'm not going to sit here and say that I can, speak for everyone. That's impossible. Everyone has dealt with a whole range of situations that I could barely even think of. I won't even say dream of. Situations I can think of. Every person is their own person. So I'm not going to say that this works for everyone by any chance. But I believe in my situation, my scenario, my existence, my reality, I can change who I am, at least to a very significant degree, especially in the field of focus. And I feel that confident in saying that because, at least in the field of focus, this hasn't always been an issue for myself. I grew up being like the true and trident, really quiet kid. I used to read books all the fucking time. I wasn't even interested in playing games until I was like 8, 9, 10, somewhere between the ages of 8 and 10 is when I kind of actually gave up reading and things like that for playing games. Because when I was way younger, I would just sit there and read books. If I wasn't reading, I would just draw on the small little like kitty whiteboard my parents bought me, because there was a lot of studying that would go on at home. Or I would just sit there and I would just daydream and I would just think, or I would just watch other things happening, or I'll just, stare outside. Like I used to be really comfortable with silence, and not really silence, because I'm comfortable with silence to this day, but I used to be comfortable with boredom. And that's something that I truly miss, because I do not like to be bored. When things are quiet, when I'm with people and things are quiet, I couldn't give a fuck. I don't feel the need to speak all the time. I don't feel the need or the urge or the want for a conversation to happen all the time. It's awkward if it's forced on top of it. So I don't mind just sitting there and just thinking to myself. But thinking to myself and being comfortable with the silence is different from boredom, because I can sit there in silence and be comfortable, but I will be fidgeting with my hands. I will do something. I will be spinning my phone around. I will be playing with a bracelet. I have a fidget ring that I actually have on right now. Haven't really used it, surprisingly, so far. But the outer band of it just spins. So I'll just be playing with that and I'll be flipping rings around. And I have to do something with my hands. My issue with boredom has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the years. As I've gotten, older and older, I've found it hard to focus, and it, kind of overlaps with every single part of life, because, especially with not being too interested in my studies as I got older and older, studying got harder, doing homework got harder, focusing in class got harder. Everything, stepping away from the class example, I think it's good, but I just also want to step away from it on top of it, because this is going to go into a very strong social critique I have that I stand on to this day, and I guess I've fallen victim to it. But short form content as well, Instagram shorts and just being on Instagram in general, that's my biggest demon. But like, YouTube shorts, TikToks, things like that, like over time. And another thing that I think has played into it is I really like competitive games. When it comes to playing games, I like really competitive games. And with competitive games, they're a duration. And then after said duration, you queue again to get back into the same type of duration. I play League of Legends a lot. I've been playing League for the last 10 years now, essentially. On and off, but more so in the last 4 to 5 years. League takes 30 to 45 minutes to play. And after one game of League, I want to play another. So I'm used to this 30 to 45 minute cycle over and over and over again. Like, my life has been controlled by receiving these quick amount of like dopamine, basically. Like, there's always something. If there's not something, we can go again and we can just get something. It's way different from, someone that enjoys Minecraft, because Minecraft isn't necessarily a cycle in the same way. You won't beat a world in 45 minutes unless you're a speedrunner, in which you have different motives. I'm not talking to you. Love you. I'm not talking to you though. But if you want to just play Minecraft to make a nice world, beat the game, make a nice world, do some fun shit, you can spend 10, 20, 30, 40 plus hours in the same world. Minecraft, Terraria, Stardew Valley. Hell, some of the better single player games of recent, you can spend that amount of time in. Red Dead Redemption, Borderlands 3, Cyberpunk, shit like that. Things where you can get immersed in the world and constantly come back to the same place to just continue. That's not constant dopamine. But playing matchmaking games, watching these short form content over and over and over again, filling your spare time with it, watching it whenever you're doing something small, watching it whenever you're on the toilet for like 10 to 15 minutes, just constantly filling your brain with more and more rushes of information because it's more steadily available. You fuck your head up. I believe that. You fuck your head up. You fuck your head up really bad. And I have to come to terms with in the last couple years, and I guess more so in the last couple months, the last year, I have become very dependent, or I have started to lean onto this dopamine rush type, like gold rush, dopamine rush type of shit a lot more than I truly believed, because I still have it to this day. I think it just fell down a couple days ago. But over my bed, I had like this little, it was like on like a stock piece of paper or like a drawing pad piece of paper. But it was a cycle of TikTok. And it explained why I hate TikTok so much. Because I don't like the short form content. I don't like the dopamine rush. I believed for a while how much it fucks your head up. And I've seen it in some of my friends, especially some of my younger friends, the friends who grew up harsher into that type of environment, as opposed to me, who is simply just adopting it more so because I'm older than them. I've seen the cycles. I've seen what it does to people. So I have like this nice little diagram that explains all the stupid shit that you'll see on TikTok, and it just perpetuates itself until you're just stuck, and I'm stuck in it. So as a result, it's hard for me to focus. It's very hard for me to focus, especially in comparison to when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I used to have no issues with focusing or, sitting down and trying to attack this one thing over and over and over and over and over again until I got it. And I would not break focus until then. And I don't know. I don't like self-diagnosis, so I don't really know what the situation is. I'm not about to sit here and say, it's ADHD, or I gave myself ADHD, or I developed ADHD, or the ADHD was always here, but it's just here more because I'm 20 instead of 6. Like, I have no fucking clue. Yeah, there's so much that goes on into life that I'm not about to just try to pinpoint into one thing, and I'm especially not going to pinpoint it because I'm not a medical professional. I don't know what it is. For all I know, this could just go back. This could be a very odd roundabout way of my brain trying to deal with my own depression, the fact that I don't find enjoyment in any day-to-day topics or, activities. It could be anything. All I have to do is recognize what the situation is and then start to try to figure out, what are my next steps to try to get myself out of this. Because I'm not going to sit here and pray that something or someone gets me out of it. It would be nice. It would be so nice if I just woke up and those things changed. Or, I can put that type of faith into someone and they'll actually do it. Or, somebody will send someone to help me with some sort of issue that I have, because I have, a lot of issues. I would love it if somebody or something sent me some sort of angel to help me with my alcoholism, but I'm not gonna bank on it. I'm not gonna bank on it. As much as it would be nice, as much as you can believe, I believe that you should still try to do as much as you can for yourself when you feel like it. And hopefully you feel like doing it the most amount of times that you can. Therefore, I want to find a solution to these type of issues. And I'm looking at all sorts of routes because like one problem, to break it down into segments, the first type of problem I'm having is, body fatigue and like a decline in the quality of sleep. Which is kind of two different issues, but they're still similar to me because I feel like they can be solved with just, I won't say just purely dietary, which includes like vitamins. Like I don't know if it can be solved with that type of issue. I just know that that one is kind of more recent. So I've been trying to evaluate what's been going on with my life lately and what I've been consuming. Which honestly, I feel like I just have a sugar deficit, to be completely honest. I haven't really consumed a lot of sugar in the last 2-3 years in general, but it's looking back on my diet in like this entire year, so the last 3-4 months just to be specific, I feel like my sugar intake has gotten relatively low. So I feel like, maybe that's an issue. So I've been trying to get a little bit more sweets for myself on occasion, just to see what it could do, because I just want to test it. I'm not gonna say it's the end all be all and this is it and I'm gonna jump into it and I'm going to quadruple my sugar intake. I'm just gonna try to eat a little bit more sweets lately and see what it does for me. If it doesn't help in 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month, 2 weeks to a month, then I'll just stop doing it again. I'll just lower my sugar intake again. But I gotta kind of play around, because I have drinking some like Red Bulls lately to get my caffeine intake up, because I don't drink caffeine at all, or not really on a regular basis. And that those days did really help. Granted, it's caffeine, and I don't want a caffeine oh god, what's the word? Caffeine dependency. I don't want a caffeine dependency by any means. So it helped on those days, but I just think that just kind of, I'm hoping that points more to, okay, there's something actually missing in your diet, as opposed to, oh, I need to start drinking Red Bull every single day. That's not something I'm interested in. So I think the sugar will help with helping me have the energy to do things. And then as I have the energy and I exert myself more, my sleep should be better, more consistent. And that's the first part I'm trying to hit. The second part is trying to fix my dopamine receptors, which I know is going to take a lot of fucking time. Because I believe it took a lot of time to get fried, and two, I just don't believe that it's I don't think it's an issue that kind of happens overnight, I don't see it as an issue that happens overnight. I think you just steadily consume more and more and more until, it's too late in a way. You just consume it until it's too late. Because I'll sit here and I've started to realize that whenever I work, I usually have so much in my like ears. Like I'll be watching a video, listening to the video while working, or just listening to like music and steadily checking something else while I'm doing it. Like it's hard to just sit there and do one thing. So I think to regain control on my perspective of boredom, my feelings with boredom, I need to allow myself to be bored, which is harshly limiting what I have access to. I think that's probably my best way to go about it, which means limiting my Instagram usage to, I guess, moments where I'm legitimately not doing anything else, because I will sit here and scroll Instagram while I'm working on anything. I'll scroll it when I die in like League of Legends or in between Valorant rounds. I'll scroll while I'm talking or while someone's talking to me. I gotta limit it to just when I'm doing nothing. So, if I want to take a break while I'm doing nothing to just scroll Instagram for 5, 10, 15 minutes, that's okay. But scrolling it for 5, 10, 15 minutes with my phone on the side of my computer screen while I work, that's probably the reason why I'm cooked. And to go back to the thing I was talking about with the games, I've been interested in figuring out if playing single player games will help me with my attention span and kind of dealing with boredom, because I love saying this. I think a lot of people say it. Like, I'm kind of addicted to League of Legends. I'm not gonna lie. I play it a lot. It's like I don't know if guilty pleasure is a good way to put it, but it's a game that I'm super comfortable autopiloting. So I will kind of play it whenever I have nothing else to do, or if I feel stimulated with conversation, but I still want something to do with my hands. And League of Legends scratches that itch. Valorant scratches it. Rainbow Six. It's like the match-made round-based games. I know League doesn't really fit that criteria, but just work with me here. But it's just like the games where it ends and then the cycle continues. So it's like the same thing every single time. Fortnite, PUBG, Apex, League of Legends, Valorant, CSGO, or CS2, excuse me. Even Escape from Tarkov to an extent. A lot of the multiplayer games is, you just load into this match-made lobby, you play it out, and then once it ends, you go back into the lobby to load up again, and you do it all over again. And because you're supposed to do it all over again, over and over, you get used to this, like, okay, I do the same thing for 20, 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, and then I'll do it again. I feel like that's been kind of hurting me. So I kind of want to challenge myself to do something that I've constantly have made jokes about for the last like 5, 8 years. Because I always joke about with my friends that I have never beat Minecraft. I've owned the game for like 10 years now, 10 plus years at this point, something like that. And I've never beat Minecraft. I haven't beat Minecraft. I barely beat like Borderlands 2 and some of the older Splinter Cell games. Might be the only single player games I've ever beaten. No, Minecraft, I own so many single player games, or games that have story modes that are supposed to take a long time. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Borderlands 3, the pre-sequel to Red Dead Redemption, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Stardew Valley, Minecraft. And I know there's a fuck ton more games that I'm missing here, but I think I want to start trying to focus on them so I can get used to doing a specific action for a prolonged period of time without getting disinterested. Because I was just playing Minecraft earlier today, and it took me 30 minutes to want to go play a multiplayer game that had quote unquote more action for my brain. And I resisted. I played Minecraft for like 3-4 hours today, but the feeling was still there, so I know that it's something to work on. I want my brain to be slower paced, because back earlier this year when I was working on things, it was when my brain felt more comfortable not being overstimulated. I didn't need to be with my friends 24/7. I didn't need music playing to work. I didn't need a video playing to work. I didn't need my games to end in 40 minutes or I was going to get frustrated. I didn't need to browse something on my phone as I'm playing a game on my computer. Like, I need to slow my brain down. I need to start to I guess a nice way to put it is I need to start to appreciate the smaller things in life, because I guess I just haven't. I just want everything to come to me immediately. It's like I'm tired of waiting, which is true. I feel a very odd way about life currently, and maybe it's reflecting itself in many different areas of my life, because I just want to see results. I'm tired of waiting. I have some song in my head. I think it's King for a Day by Pierce the Veil. It's like what is it? I'm tired of waiting like a dog on the floor or by the door or something like that. I'm fucking a lineup, don't kill me. But I don't know. Like I'm just tired of waiting for things. I feel like I'm starting to get disillusioned with the idea of wanting things and not getting them. And I guess my problem is that when I don't get it, I just feel discouraged and I give up and I just kind of leave it there. And that doesn't really make the feeling much better. It actually makes it, really makes it a lot worse. I can speak from experience. I have given up on damn near everything I have tried my entire life. And I don't know if that's just like hedonism to its fullest, or me just being willing to abandon things, because I like to experience things. I love to experience new things in life. I want to be able to essentially experience everything, and I think my life has been a pretty strong reflector of that type of ideal, because I have dipped my toe in everything, and I have not settled down with any sort of particular idea. I spent so much of my early life and going, like, I spent my entire life constantly talking about different professions. I remember my parents could talk for, my mom especially could talk in length about some of the random professions I brought up when I was younger. Boxer, bartender, doctor, I think astronaut, firefighter. I wanted to be a writer or like a journalist at some point. Then when I got older, now I can recall it from personal memory. I remember wanting to be in math, to be a mathematician. Then I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a computer scientist. I considered AI. I spent 3 to 4 years getting further into art, and while I was into art, digital illustration, I was still dancing into graphic design. I was playing with music and music theory. Then when I got out of school and I decided to drop out of college, I still played around with music. I play around with recording music and recording my own voice, and production and engineering and mixing, and I also dance into video editing, and I want to dance into color grading and just like some of the more post-production parts of video. I danced my hand into streaming, and even when I was back in high school, I remember dancing into professional gaming, because at one point I was in the top percentages of Fortnite players. And it's just like, I think the way I want to frame this is my life has been plagued with opportunity, and it's not plagued with opportunity, it's plagued with choice. And it's only a plague because I have chosen to dance instead of choose, because with nothing I have mentioned, all the vast various different fields I have ever considered in the almost 21 years I've had to experience this random game we call life, I've never settled down. There has not been a moment, or there really hasn't been moments where I felt comfortable with what I said I wanted to go with. And the moments that I did want to chase something, those moments eventually passed. The closest thing I got to comfort was art and digital illustration. And after 2, 3, 4 years of really dancing into it, after a lifetime of drawing and doodling and just kind of being artistic for fun and to pass time, I'm not in love with it anymore. And I don't want to do it. I don't think about it. My drawing tablet to the right of me has a fuck ton of dust on it because I haven't touched it in 5 months. And half the days I don't even think about the fact that my drawing tablet's there. The only time I think about my drawing tablet is remembering that I have some drugs under it. Or, well, it's a weed pen, vape, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care. But I have shit kind of stored in it and stored under it, stored within the stand of it. Like, I have to move it around from time to time to get other shit that I want. But I don't want to draw anymore. Or I don't want to draw as my primary source of passion and purpose and profession. It's not, it no longer really brings me what I was looking for, what I have been looking for. It doesn't bring me what I found from it previously in life, which hurts. It hurts a lot in general because art has always been my escape. It's always been the way that I've chosen to express myself and express more unsavory things I've never been too comfortable to talk to people about, from, gender identity and being uncomfortable with my body, losing friends, the fear of losing friends, my unhappiness with life, and just my problems with depression and anxiety and self-identity in general. Art has always been there for me. And I truly believe art will forever be there for me. I still always see myself as a creative. But I just don't think drawing it is something I want to do in the long term as a profession. Which is a realization I think maybe came a little bit late. Because I might have been naive to believe that something I used as an outlet for my bad thoughts could be turned into something I get money from. Because I never wanted to draw for anyone else. I never wanted to draw for the sake of drawing, or drawing to bring other people's passions and visions to life. I've never wanted that. I just wanted to get things off my chest. And I finally realized that was it. And there was no way I would turn away from that idea. So I don't think about drawing unless I have something to say. Not anyone else. I don't want to take commissions or shit like that. So I had to give it up. Or I gave it up as, something I want to focus on way too much. It's just for fun. It's just for fun now. But my issue is, especially with the dopamine issues and shit like that, is I need to figure out something to be interested in. Because while I can sit here and do whatever it takes for the sake of survival, for the sake of temporary happiness and things like that, working whatever jobs I don't want to work. Because, currently I work in customer service, human resources, HR, and I dip my toe into taxation, among many other hats that I wear. I don't fucking like my job. I don't want to do it. I don't like customer service. I couldn't give a fuck about HR, and taxation pisses me off because taxes are not fucking fun to file. And I love numbers, but God fucking, I hate taxation so fucking much. But it's a job that someone needed of me. So I'm doing it, and I'll do it with a smile on my face. Because I don't mind being assigned things to do. But I have no problem voicing my displeasure for a particular task either. I don't want to do it. I will do it. This is something I can do. I won't back away from it. Backed away from other things. I hate public speaking, or, well, that sounds weird doing this, but I hate, because for customer service, they asked me to start doing like live calls. I didn't want to do that, and I told them I don't want to do that, and they let me not do it, essentially. Like that was something that I felt heavily opinionated about, and they respected it. But everything else, I tell them like, yeah, I don't really care to do it, but I can. And that's been my sentiment throughout my entire life. And I guess that I'm finally starting to realize that's been an issue because I just don't care. I just don't fucking care. I don't care to do anything. I don't like my job. I just don't fucking mind it enough to not do it. I worked at Amazon for a while. I didn't like my job. I didn't mind it enough to not do it. I could do damn near anything, especially when it's a matter of survival, for a matter of life or death. Because as much as it feels weird, as much as you might disagree with it, money makes the world go around, and I need to eat. I need a place to sleep. I want money to do things with people that I love and care for, or at the very least, I just want to do shit for my own pleasure to, feed back into my hedonism, basically. I like pleasure. So I gotta make money. So if I gotta make money, I'll do shit I don't want to do. But I'm really hoping that I find something that I want to do, because this won't be the most sustainable way to live life moving forward. And I guess it feels odd because when I talk to other people my age, people mid-age, people my parents' age, and even further than that, they either always liked what they did, or they at least knew what they wanted to do. To an extent, people usually find some sort of pleasure in what they do on a day-to-day. And it's pleasure past the fact that they just chose to do it and they're complacent with it. It's something that they like to do. Veterinarians love going in, not because of the horrors that they might see on the job, but they really love pets and they really love working with pets. And, the ends justify the means. They're okay with what they see and what they might have to deal with because they like doing it. So, there's a lot of mechanics that love their job because they just love being around cars. Accountants that love their job because they love to work with numbers, or at the very least are just good with numbers. Fitness coaches that love fitness, things like that. And it feels like a lot of people kind of know where their place is in life, in a way. Something that brings them joy. Even if it's not the perfect ideal, it's enough for them. But I can never find anything that's enough for me, in a way. It's just, I can, therefore I will. The worker mentality. I can, therefore I will. And I won't think past it because I just need to eat the next day. And that's just it. And I want to escape that. And I'm in a situation where I can escape that with relative ease. And I guess that's maybe why I'm stressing myself out so fucking bad to find it. And it's hard to find it if I can't focus and I can't work and I just want to sleep and my arms just feel fucking terrible, and it's just hard to do anything because I can't find that thing that really motivates me if it just feels like I want to sleep all day even though I can't even sleep. Like it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It doesn't work that way. It won't work. So I've been trying to find that thing. I've been trying to find it for a while, I guess my entire life, but especially in the last couple months, because I've stepped away from things that were working for me to try to find that thing, that love, that passion. And I thought I found it for a moment, and maybe I was wrong, but maybe I'm just mentally fucking drained right now. Who knows? It can be anything. It can be anything. That's why I don't want to speak in absolutes, because as much as I'm sitting here talking about how I can't do shit and how I don't feel the urge to do shit, I have no motivation, I could be in the same spot a month later, April 26th, and I could be over the moon ecstatic about the fact that I I finally found, you know, what I wanted to do with myself and what I wanted to do with my life, at least for the moment. That's the best I can get. At the very least, for the moment, I could figure out what I want to spend my time with and what I want to spend my time on. And I'm hoping for it. But I'm actively trying to make sure that it happens as well. As much time as I need to spend doing things I don't want to do or things I don't know if I really want to do, I might as well do it. I have the time to spend, and it surely beats how I'm living life right now, because my life is a fucking mess. And maybe I'll spend next episode that I want to record soon because I want to give my editor a break finally. But maybe in the next episode I'll just talk about how much I've really fucked up in life and just how much I have opportunities to do better and I just don't, and just how much it just gets fucking bad. It just gets fucking bad. I could spend damn near a whole episode just talking about how bad it's been in the last 6 months, because I've seen some things and I've done some bad things and I've experienced some bad things in the last 6 months that I don't even want to talk about with this episode, because we've been talking about something else. But it's gotten bad. It's gotten fucking terrible. Like, there's no reason that I literally spend 6 to 8 hours every single night fucked up drunk, or getting drunk if not drunk, and then trying to sustain said inebriation. Like, 8 hours of inebriation, that's half a day. Like, that's like getting off a 9 to 5 just to drink, and then just drinking yourself to damn near death just to wake up and do it again. But doing that type of shit is probably part of the reason why I can't find no damn footing. So guess what? Once again, I got no one to blame but myself. But I gotta try to do better. So I will. I gotta limit all that shit. I gotta fix my diet. I gotta fix my dopamine intake and trying to limit it and control it and push it towards a better place. I gotta definitely limit my alcohol consumption. I've been talking about that for God knows how long, but I know it's something I need to focus on. I'm fucking trying. It has gotten better lately, especially with getting off the sickness. It has gotten a little bit better. So I gotta try to take that momentum and run with it. But on top of it, somewhere back into the I love touching on everything. I've been trying for this entire year. I've been trying to figure out exactly what's been going on with my health insurance. I think I'm finally going to try to get some. I want to see a psychiatrist, and I just want to see what type of medication they would prescribe given my situation, whether it just be like quote unquote ADHD meds, I just get diagnosed with it, who knows, to definitely some antidepressants, because I know I'm depressed. That's not a question. With my whole outlook on life and the way that I function, I have depression. I don't, as much as I hate self-diagnosis, that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out if you talk to me enough. Like, I got some issues in that field, so I really want to see a psychiatrist on top of it, see if I can get myself something that might help me in the short term or in the long term, because I'm missing something. I'm missing something, and I gotta just take it slow, but try to figure out what I can do to get myself into a better place, because I just want to understand what it feels like to be okay again. I don't really know what okay feels like. My life for the last 7, almost 8 years has been driven by an immense amount of problems and substance abuse, and being surrounded by other people who suffer from the same type of issues, and being the primary person that will try to care for them. Like, there's been a lot of issues in my life, so I don't really know what it feels like to be quote unquote okay. I don't know what happiness feels like to some people. But I know what happiness feels like to me because I have been happy before. I have been happy in recent times or even in past times. I know what it can feel like. I know what it does feel like. And that's what I strive for. And that's what I'm going to continue to strive for. Because as much as I have my odd feelings about life and how much I might feel disoriented and unwilling to continue at times, I know that life offers a lot of beauty. There's a lot of things that I really do still want to feel in life, things I want to see, and I know that life has it available. I just have to do the right things to be here and put myself in the right position to see it and feel it. Because there's a lot. There's a lot of things I have experienced that I just want to experience again. There's a lot I haven't experienced that I haven't even thought of. But I know I'll be happy when I actually see it. And it's those type of thoughts, it's that type of optimism, that hope, that I know that it's out there. So I gotta keep trying to do whatever I can do to make it that far, and just kind of see it. But for now, just as a honest, truthful, self-evaluation, I've been fucked up. I've been missing my old self, and I need to find myself a bit. I need to better understand what I want to see, the things I want to do. And once I figure it out, I need to just do my best to run with it. And if there's any problems along the line, I just gotta figure out what I can do and just keep going. I just gotta keep going. Doesn't matter if I feel like I'm at a roadblock right now, because if I feel like I'm at a roadblock right now, let's just take a page from the playbook of the past. Let's just see where it felt like things was going right a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago. And let's just do a factory reset.